It's Thursday, the 1st of June 2023, and day 152 of 365. This is Primetime News. Good evening and many thanks for joining me. I'm Michael Medimba. Tonight's bulletin commences with a tourism-related theme. United Nations World Tourism Organization Director for the Africa Department, Elsie Grandcourt, says it is imperative to invest in technological development and in human resources through capacitating the next generation of tourism professionals and leaders with strong digital skills. Grandcourt, while addressing the opening session of the 5th African Youth in Tourism Innovation Summit on Wednesday in Swakopmund, said innovation, technology and digitalization are an integral part of the evolution process of the tourism industry. Let's listen in.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, tourism generates 1 out of 10 jobs worldwide, and this represents an important leverage for job creation, as well as a window for innovation and digitalization, providing young entrepreneurs with unique opportunities to develop new and sustainable business models and activities in alignment with the achievement of the UN SDGs. Innovation, technology, and digitalization are all an integral part of the evolution process of the tourism industry. The pandemic has sped up the urgency to integrate digital technology into the tourism and travel industry to reimagine businesses and destinations, design innovative tourism experiences, create or modify existing businesses' operating procedures so as to adapt to the new conditions and features of the global context. Dear friends, investing in technological development and in human resources by capacitating the next generation of tourism professionals and leaders with strong digital skills are paramount and instrumental to drive the future of the tourism sector and also to contribute to the socio-economic advancement of the Africa region.
Switching attention to northern Namibia. Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Carl Schleitwein, says water, land and agriculture are essential needs of life. Schleitwein, who was speaking during the Omaluthi Festival in Okongo in the Angwena region, noted without agriculture there wouldn't be life on earth. Here is a portion of his statement.
Agriculture is not only a basic need for food. Without we cannot live. If there is no agriculture, if there is no food, we will die. We will not grow, we will have no population to live in with, we have got no social contacts, no social gathering, we will perish. The same is true for water, maybe even more so with water, because if you have no water, you will also have no agriculture. So the two, agriculture, or the three actually within the ministry, agriculture, water and land, are the basic ingredients of life and of livelihoods. We not only live, we also make a living.
Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah concurred with Schleitwein, saying agriculture contributes massively to the development of any nation, as it has the potential to create employment for the unskilled, semi-skilled as well as highly skilled labor force. She therefore called for value addition in Namibia's agricultural sector. Once more, let's listen in.
The significance of agriculture in general is that farming in particular has enormous multiplier effect, which is very, very important. And in the area of job creation, the good part of farming, particularly agriculture, is that you can create employment for the unskilled, for skilled, semi-skilled, and highly skilled people. All of them can get a space in our agricultural development. History tells us all industrial countries, they started with agrarian economy. And you must avoid shortcuts. Shortcuts can mess you up. So that's why we need really to understand if we are to realize the goals of our agenda, of our vision 2030, and of course AU Agenda 2063.
On to continental headlines. Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni on Wednesday defied international calls to rescind an anti-gay law seen as one of the world's harshest, including a potential death penalty for aggravated homosexuality. More on this development in this insert.
Uganda activist has called on international donors to impose sanctions against Central African country leaders over the law. In a joint statement on Monday, after the law was signed, the rights group denounced a dangerous and discriminatory law would further crimp freedoms for civil society under Museveni, whose rule has become increasingly authoritarian since he took power in 1986. US President Joe Biden, as well as the European Union and the UN Chief Antonio Guterres, have also slammed the legislation, warning that foreign aid and investment for Uganda could be jeopardized unless the law is repealed. In 2014, international donors slashed aid to Uganda after Museveni approved a bill that sought to impose life imprisonment for homosexual relations, which was later overturned. But the latest anti-gay law has enjoyed broad support in the conservative country, where lawmakers have defended the measures as a necessary bulwark against Western immorality.
Stay tuned for the business segment. Welcome to Primetime Buzzworld Business and Economic Trends are topical. The Minister of Industrialization and Trade says the application for and issuance of import-export rebates as well as transit permits are free of charge. Let's examine the potential implications.
The Ministry of Industrialization and Trade's Executive Director, Shigongo Hayambo, in a statement informed the public that the application and issuance of the ministry's permits are free of charge and that all individuals seeking import, export, rebate or transit permits should apply on the ministry's official website. The statement was issued after the ministry notes that some individuals, agents and groups have been misleading the public and charging them on the applications and issuance of the ministry's permits. The executive director urged the public to report any activities related to payments for the application and issuance of the permits to the ministry. Hayambo also encouraged the public to seek assistance at any of the ministry's 14 regional offices at no cost.
On to neighboring Zambia, where the country recently launched a strategy to guide the sustainable growth of the country's aviation sector. Minister of Transport and Logistics Frank Tayali said the strategy will help tackle the many challenges that have affected the growth of the sector and provide impetus to Zambia's economic growth. More on this.
The aviation strategy clearly outlines areas of intervention that will facilitate the sector to make a significant contribution to economic growth. The strategy was premised on the vision of having an aviation sector capable of contributing to social and economic development through sustainable, reliable, safe and secure air connectivity. The minister expressed optimism that the strategy will provide an excellent avenue for the country's aviation sector to rise above its challenges and realize the dream of becoming an aviation hub in the Southern African region. Zambia's geographical location is a natural hub and a connecting point for global business for countries in the sub-region. Tayali said, stressing the aviation sector has been hampered by the challenges such as low levels of passenger numbers, inadequate air connectivity to provincial centers, high airline operating costs, and limited capacity in air services training.
This concludes our top news segment for tonight. Stay tuned for the economics roundup followed by an A to Z weather forecast. planet. Namibia men's cricket team who host their first Castle Light series this year against the Karnataka state team from India and 5 50-over matches from the 2nd to the 11th of June in Windhoek. Ahead of the tour with one of the strongest teams in the Indian domestic circuit, Namibia's cricket governing body on Wednesday announced a 15-man squad that will be captained by Gerard Erasmus. Cricket Namibia announced the upcoming tournament is set to be one of Namibia's most interesting tours, and entertainment is expected from the series. On to the Europa League final. UEFA is awaiting the match official reports before deciding whether to take action against Jose Mourinho for his rant at referee Anthony Taylor after Roma's Europa final defeat. Now, Roma boss Mourinho was critical of Taylor in his post-match press conference after his side's penalty shootout defeat to Sevilla and Budapest last night. In video footage which later emerged on social media, the much-travelled manager is seen gesticulating at Taylor and officials in the stadium car park and had saying, "Disgrace." Taylor booked Mourinho during the game, which finished 1-1 after extra time, before Sevilla sought their 7th Europa League triumph by winning 4-1 in a penalty shootout. Tempers simmered on and off the pitch in the final, with 13 players shown yellow cards, 7 of them to Roma players, while 4th official Michael Oliver had his work cut out to keep control of both dugouts. Mourinho lost for the first time in his 6th major European final, while Sevilla extended their record number of tournament wins, following previous successes in 2006, 2007, 2014, 2015, as well as 2016 and 20. For the neutral, what a match, and congratulations to Sevilla on the triumph. Your sports roundup is up next. On that note, we've reached the end of tonight's installment. Many thanks for watching, and do make sure to join us for this week's last edition of Primetime News. From myself, Michael Medimba, and the entire crew behind the scenes, it's good night.